Do you know why disaster has not happened in some regions of this world, in some regions of Australia, in some regions, you know?
Yeah.
It's because there are people, there are children of God in that location.
Mm. Yeah.
And God will say, no, I cannot destroy my children with these guys.
Mm.
So they may not understand that they are enjoying your presence in that state. They might think they are providing good security, good environmental system, and the rest of them,
Yeah.
while other places are receiving so much flooding, so much
This and that.
this and that,
Mm.
COVID attack, and the rest of them. But they don't understand that God has planted special people in that location that is keeping that location safe
Yeah.
from most of those disasters. Hallelujah. Until they
Hallelujah.
come against you, they will understand that their life is miserable.
Mm.
In a haste, they will want to say go if they try to fight you. In a haste, they will want to stop that problem.